Okay guys, so within this video we have more evidence for a Black Ops 3 Zombies DLC 5 map pack coming to the game, and I feel like the more and more these weeks progress into 2017, the more information, the more evidence, and the more interesting the evidence actually gets for this DLC 5 pack that we've been talking about. You know, it started off with theories and just different stuff we've been seeing, and now the evidence is getting better and better. You know, we had like unknown sources from the Gaming Revolution, the Glitching Queen, and then that sort of blew over, and then we went to evidence such as the investor report, and it's something I didn't talk about, which I think could be something completely different, but that Mexican retailer that had like that all zombies game or whatever the hell that was a really weird thing. And now this today, or you know, a couple days ago really, I'm talking about today at least, with the Steam update that went through and added a bunch of DLC packages to Black Ops 3 through Steam that obviously is very similar to something we've seen before with other past map packs for Black Ops 3. So, you know, it's getting very interesting. Again, the evidence is getting interesting. I want to go through this as well, and I want to talk about, on top of this information, how Treyarch could be preparing for this DLC 5 map pack. That being said, it would be how they would implement it, how they would release it, what this all means if they're adding these update files and these DLC packages, how it's just going to be released. You know, what is the preparation for this DLC 5, and a bunch of different stuff that we've seen before with different, you know, just patches and textures being added to the game and all this different stuff. Again, hinting at Treyarch's preparation for a DLC 5 map pack. So that being said, if you can leave a like, that would be greatly appreciated, and let's get started. So the main piece of evidence, again, the one from a couple days ago for this video, obviously is the Steam website, and it basically goes through and shows us everything being added to all these different Steam games. I'm going to show an example that Zombies HQ gave to subscribers. It was just, you know, a Salvation map pack for Black Ops 3, and you see how it's set up. It has all different languages, and I sort of relate this to, like, you know, when a trailer comes out, it has the different languages for the trailer. The same thing with the map pack. You go through, it has the specific languages for all of these different map packs and all of these different countries and stuff like that. So again, you know, Black Ops 3 map pack 4, Salvation, well, like, you guys get the gist there. You see it on screen. That's what it usually looks like for a full-on map pack. Now, if you go through this one, it's a bit interesting, okay? Again, this is 2 days ago. They don't have names, but it has the same exact setup. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 DLC, English, French, Italian, German, all that different stuff goes through. It's, I don't know, man, it gets very interesting when you get to this point. It has the same setup as the other one. Now again, people could still make the argument, and it's the same argument with the investor report. Well, you know, could still be the weapons and the guns, doesn't specify that it is a map pack specifically. The thing is, when the two updates, when the two files are so similar, just like with the investor report, it said, you know, Black Ops 3 map packs, or it said Black Ops 3 DLC for each quarter, and then it said Black Ops 3 DLC for the 2017 slot. Obviously, if one Black Ops 3 DLC means the map pack, the other Black Ops 3 DLC is also going to mean map pack. They're not going to mean two separate things, but have the same wording. Now, the only thing is there's no name listed. It could be just this unknown thing, and that does make a bit of sense, obviously, with DLC 5. If they want to implement this in a different way than what they've done before, then they would make sense to have all of this stuff really unknown, as unknown bits of evidence that they don't want to tell us. I'm not saying that DLC 5 is like this huge surprise that Treyarch wants to give us, and obviously that could be interesting. That would be asking for a lot. I don't think Treyarch's just going to be like, oh, surprise, DLC 5 now available. That would be just psychotic. That would be crazy. And if they're doing that, I don't know, man, that would be really crazy. But I just don't see that happening. Obviously, they need to advertise it. They need to give us information. So if they're going to prepare for a DLC pack, they have to prepare with everything. So the name maybe could be added later. You know, usually the files don't have the name. Usually stuff has like code names. Like, remember, you know, if there's like a new COD leak for the new Call of Duty game, it's like code name this, or, you know, I forgot the ones for like Black Ops 3 and all that stuff, but you guys know what I mean. There's usually a code name in the actual files and the code, and then the real name released later and all that insane stuff. So you guys understand how that could be the case. But again, this information They're both similar, the Salvation one and the one added 2 days ago. It's very interesting to see that the stuff is being added to Black Ops 3 Zombies. Just in general, we're a year after the game has been released, you know, or over a year at this point, you know. It's getting very interesting to see all the stuff being added. This relates back now to, you know, the textures, and there was this time where all different textures were being added to Black Ops 3, and we were saying, well, what the hell is this for? Is it for, you know, is it like an update to Revelations? Is it preparing for actual files in the game that will translate to, you know, remaster maps or DLC 5, maybe a new map? I have no clue. We really don't know at this point. But again, the stuff being added to the game, it gets pretty suspicious, you know. It's not just like usually when you have those leaks. I remember with Black Ops 3 as well, during Black Ops 3's life cycle, when you would get those weapon leaks, they would give you the code name for it, and they would give you, you know, an image of would pop up, a texture would pop up in the file, and then the texture would leak around the community, and then we would get all the information, and we would know 100% that a new multiplayer weapon was releasing very soon. Like, I feel like we always knew that that was the case. We never had this really weird understanding during Black Ops 3 of like, oh, what was added to the game? Is that a map pack? Is that a zombies map? Is that a DLC weapon? We never had that discussion. And I feel like now we're saying that, obviously, because we're a bit skeptical, everyone is. It's a new thing to even think about DLC 5. Like, we've talked about it for years and years now. It's been talked about forever, but it's a new thing to really actually believe that DLC 5 is possible. So obviously everyone's gonna question it, and obviously what we're seeing now, again, can't be directly 100% towards DLC 5. There are chances that it could be different DLC elements of Black Ops 3, maybe not DLC weapons, maybe just other random DLC things like a game mode, or I don't even know, just anything else that is besides a weapon and besides like a map pack, you know. But at this point, it's very possible that the stuff we saw within the Steam files there, the evidence of the, you know, packages, the DLC packages being added 2 days ago or 3 days ago, or whatever at this point, a couple days ago, there's evidence, and it makes sense to assume that that could be a DLC 5 preparation or DLC 5 packages that are being added to the game that Treyarch are implementing because they want to start getting ready for a release soon. You know, it's going to be really crazy. So again, I think be on the lookout if this is going to happen, and if you're on the direction that, you know, yes, DLC 5 is possible, you want DLC 5 to happen, and you think this evidence is pretty sufficient enough to believe that that's the case, then you go through and you think what they're going to be doing next, the next couple of days and next couple of weeks, maybe months at this point. Who knows when they're going to release it, honestly. But keep an eye out for different things being added to the game. If they're going to be preparing for a DLC pack, maybe they have to actually change a lot of the menus in the game as well. I don't know what this DLC 5 is going to be. Is it going to be 4 remaster maps and like 1 new map? We have no clue what is going to happen here. So they have to add all the stuff in the game. They have to maybe change the whole zombies menu to actually fit these maps, to change how these maps are going to run, like how these maps are going to play on Black Ops 3. There's a lot they need to configure, especially with the remaster maps. There's a lot they need to configure with this game. So again, putting it and implementing it properly into the game is a huge thing. So seeing these packs being added, seeing, you know, the textures being added, obviously we don't know if the textures are for DLC 5, but again, seeing the stuff, and if you want to put those towards DLC 5, it makes sense. It makes sense that they're doing that, and yeah, we should be expecting DLC 5 pretty soon if that's the case. If it's not the case, then I don't know what to tell you, man. All this information, I think Treyarch, they know what's going on. Like, they look at the community, they know what everyone's talking about, they know, I don't know if they've ever seen AMI videos, but they know I put every piece of evidence I've ever seen, I relate it to DLC 5 at some point or another. So, you know, let's think about this here. I think they understand what they're doing, they know what they're doing, they know the information is going to release. Like, I feel like people need to understand, these companies, they know that sometimes these leaks are going to get to people, and they know the information is going to get to people, and that's why people have said before that maybe these leaks are intentional, maybe they intentionally do this to increase hype, and I think that's not far off the truth. I think sometimes we've seen leaks, we've seen poster leaks, we've seen information leaks about the game title, and it's really just to create hype, especially a company like Treyarch. They know the community so well. They know how crazy the community is and how they latch onto this stuff. So I think them, out of anyone probably in the gaming community overall, just any gaming company, they know that whatever they release and whatever information gets out, we're gonna be on top of it. So that's why we need to watch anything they're doing, because they know that they could be leaking, they could be increasing the hype by putting anything out to us and just slowly giving us these different little hints and different things. And I don't know, man, I really do think that's possible. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think about this. Hope you guys did enjoy, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.